Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural post-podcast of Knights of the Round Records. My name is VillosaurusWrex, David Villarreal. Give y'all a little history on Knights of the Round Records as y'all are first tuning in. Knights of the Round Records is pretty much an album of the week club. Me and my friends just talking about hip-hop, guys. Before you go any further, parental advisory is suggested. Moms, we're looking out for the kids. Kids, don't let your mom hear me say some shit, all right? So, I'm going to introduce my cast with you today. I have Sebastian Galvan.
Yo, it's Bass. What up?
Sebastian, tell me about yourself, man.
I'm an artist, amateur artist, trying to come up. I've been listening to hip-hop since I was a kid. My brother put me on like Wu-Tang and a lot of like 90s stuff and been listening to it since. I listen to mostly like underground stuff, but do fuck with some like newer stuff too. Pretty big variety of music I listen to, and I listen to it every time I paint, draw, whatever. I'm trying to mess with a lot of different media too, so it's helped me out. I'll
put a link to Bass's Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat if he wants it down in the links. Another one of my homies with me today, Eric Aleman. Eric, what's up?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Eric, tell these people a little about yourself today.
All right. Well, I've been listening to hip hop for a long time. I used to really just listen to a lot of radio stuff, but then I woke up and found live mixtapes and never looked back. Just steady downloading mixtapes and always trying to stay ahead of what is on the radio, so I can know what's good before that.
That's what's up. All right. With me right now, I have my boy Mark Tapia, otherwise known as Charles. Charles, tell him about yourself.
What's up, man? I like to consider myself a jack of all trades, master of none, but I'm really here for the fun. There's my rap for the day.
Your freestyle today has been brought to you by Mark.
I got into hip hop, back in like 2008. I was a metal drummer, and I kind of got bored with drumming metal, and started listening to a lot more hip hop and rap and R&B. So it was a lot more groovy, and it was a lot more fun to drum to, and everything just kind of took off from there.
That's what's up. All right, so like I said before, guys, my name's David Villarreal, also known as VillosaurusWrex. Vil to my friends, Rex to some. I've been listening to hip-hop for a long time now, man. I can remember the first time I was jamming out hip-hop. If you follow me on Facebook, I did a Facebook Live video where I chatted about the first time I remember about hip-hop. I remember my cousins putting me on a Bone Thugs, gave me a cassette tape, and I popped it in the cassette player, and Mom came in and she's, "What's this shit you're listening to? What is this bullshit?" And I'm like, "You know what, Mom, I'm sorry." So then I listened to the radio hip hop and stuff like that Jay-Z, "Can I get a what?" Up until maybe like 5 years ago, I realized it's "Can I get a fuck you?" So shouts to Mom for keeping me sheltered on that. But then I remember, getting my own little bit of cash and going out and buying Juvenile's 400 Degrees on a CD, and we went up to a road trip and to Houston to visit some family. And my mom's, when I fell asleep in the car, she got it to listen to some music and woke me up. "What's this shit you're listening to? You still listening to this shit?" So hip hop's always kind of been around with me for a bit. So I'm gonna talk to these guys just like we normally talk, folks. We talk music all day, every day. If I could show you our messages, text messages, Facebook messages, Snapchat messages, you'll see that that's all we talk. That's what we live and breathe. And the reason I chose hip hop to be the topic of which we talk about is because hip hop is so diverse. Hip hop is one of those things that it's involved with everything, man. I mean, Bass right here is a Knicks fan, and when you think about the Knicks, I think Knicks tapes. I think Spike, I think hip hop,
Yeah. Melo, my man.
Yeah, shouts to Melo and OKC now.
That's I'm rooting for him this year, though, man. I'm like, he finally has a team, even though it's not my team.
And then thinking about OKC, you think of Westbrook with that video, Lil Uzi Vert, the "Now I Do What I Want," and there's that,
I forgot about that.
And then you think D Rose. I think Kanye West when he shouts out D Rose. Shout out to Derrick Rose, man. That nigga nice, Like that's what I think.
Chi-Town love.
Yeah, you know, that's that Chi-Town love. Kanye West and Jay-Z talking about D Wade and LeBron out in Miami when they were with the Heat. I mean, there's that.
Hey, don't forget that Dame Lillard is a rapper too. Dame Dollar.
Yeah, Dame Dollar.
Forget about him.
Dame Dollar. And then, you know, then I'm looking at Eric's shirt right now. Y'all can't see it, but he's rocking that Austin 316 shirt. So then you think about the culture of hip hop and wrestling, you know, go back to 90s, early 2000s wrestling. You had Scotty 2 Hotty and Grandmaster Sexay doing their hip hop thing. You had recently the New Day do a freestyle with the Usos hosted by Wale, you know. So yeah, and that's all on TV, you know. Yeah. So it's really all about that. And then
Bronson rapping about wrestling all the time.
Yeah, you know, and it's a good thing you brought up Bronson right now, because that's actually what we're going to be talking about today. The album that we chose for this week to talk about is Blue Chips 7000. We all gave ourselves a couple days to jam out to Blue Chips, and we're going to talk about that in a whole. Also, we're going to talk about an underground artist in which I've been following for some years, and I chose to speak about today. Her name is Lucy Camp. Links to everything will be in the description down below, so you can listen to Blue Chips however you listen to it, and then you can jam out to Lucy Camp on her website, lucycamp.com. So we talked about ourselves, a little bit of history, and I know who my top 5 are. Y'all might not know who y'all's top 5 are, so I'm gonna let these guys tell you about their top 5 and who they're jamming out, who's in their recents, what they most recently been listening to. So I'm gonna start with Bass right here to the right of me, because Bass has Bass has the least heads up. Bass wasn't supposed to be here today. I hit Bass up last minute and I was like, hey man, I need you to come through. We're doing this podcast. Can you roll up? And he said, bet, I'm there. So Bass, tell me first, before you even tell me your top 5, what would you jam to on the way here?
On here, I was actually, you put me on to that chick, Lucy Camp, so I was bumping her, trying to get, like, whatever you told me. As soon as I got out of work, I was like, I'll check her out, because you know me and you type music all the time. Like, we'll put each other on to different shit. So I was like, all right, I'll see her. And I was not expecting what I heard. I was like, man, she has, like, a smooth, calm voice, but the way she delivers it, like, the flow just sneakily creeps up on you. Like, she reminds me of the singer, Alina Baraz or something like that. Like,
okay.
Like the beats and her voice kind of sound like Dream State a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it just flows into her just like killing it on the mic. And I was like, whoa. Like, it really took me by surprise. But shit, my top 5. I'm distracted by the Cowboys game right now. But my top 5 in no particular order would have to be Mos Def. For sure.
Hell yeah, Mos Def.
Black Thought for sure.
Oh yeah.
MF Doom for sure.
The man behind the mask. Keep them potholders.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. All caps. My top 3, man, that's hard.
You got 2 more.
I have so many, but I'll definitely have to say. Fuck, man.
You're telling me
I'll put Method Man in it.
Method Man, you're gonna tell me Bam Bam ain't in your top?
Dude, Bam Bam is in my top 10 already, and he's of like real recent. I can't put him in my top 5 now, just because he doesn't have the catalog of the other people in my top 5. But he's definitely in my top 10.
Those of y'all who don't know who Bam Bam is, that's
Bronson.
That's Action Bronson, Bam Bam Baklava.
Yeah, Baklava, if you will.
Yeah.
Got a million nicknames.
Yeah.
For real. Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah.
The Vanilla Godzilla.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't even know if that's real, but I just call him that.
Hey,
but
if it's not, it should be.
Right, yeah, it should be. Well, what am I at right now?
So you said Mos Def, Black Thought, Method Man, Doom.
And I would have to put in. I'd have to put in Nas.
Nas, Illmatic, Mr. Illmatic
Nas
himself.
takes
That's
that
a
fifth
good
spot.
choice. That's a good one. That's a good one. A little history of me and Bass, man. Me and Bass, I used to have this house here in our hometown, Corpus Christi. We had some homies that had houses and stuff. We always just throw house parties, you know, talk music and stuff. Me and Bass are actually been working on a mixtape for the past like 10 years called Shitting on Your Chapters.
Hey, well, before you even end that, I'd have to pull Method Man out and put 3 Stacks in. Andre 3000.
Yeah, 3 Stacks.
That's going to be bugging me this whole
sure.
podcast if I don't fix that.
Yeah, for sure.
Right
3
now.
Stacks for sure, man.
Yeah. But continue.
Yeah, so me and Bass used to go back and forth in the backyards of parties and stuff, rapping, just talking shit, having a good time. And one night we were just so gone, man, just rapping, freestyling, having a good time. Bass kept saying he was going to shit on you, and I kept saying chapter after chapter after chapter for whatever reason. We don't even know if the flows were good. People were like, "Oh yes, what's up?"
I felt like they were good because everybody was cheering, but they could have just been laughing at us.
Everybody was drunk, hyping you. That's what it was.
Yeah, they're all clowning.
Yeah, I could have been throwing up in the backyard, and they were like, "Oh, he's going in."
But David could actually rap. So he would always rap all the time and stuff, and I would rap when I'm drunk. Like I have to have liquid courage. So one day he was rapping, and they're all, "David's good, man." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure he is." And we'd always talk hip hop. I just never rapped with him before, and then he just starts fucking dissing the shit out of me, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I gotta go hard. So I start going in, and I feel like I'm doing all right, and we just progressively get drunk and more drunk, and then it just turns into an all-out battle, and everybody's cheering, but yeah, we don't know if it was good or not, but we've had some pretty good nights where we kill it, not to toot our own horns.
Yeah.
Every now and then we can sometimes we fall off, sometimes we think we get pretty saucy on it.
And then thinking history with Bass, I mean, we went out here in our hometown when Atmosphere showed up. We went out there, saw Atmosphere, saw Brother Ali, saw a half dozen. And if y'all don't know them, we'll probably be talking about them real soon in this podcast. Not today, but in a future one. But some Minnesota rappers, man. Some underground stuff that ain't really underground no more, but a lot of people still ain't heard them,
Yeah, but we actually saw it with our buddy that raps too, and he actually makes music, and he's really dope. Wise.
Yeah, shout out Wise, man.
Shout out Wise.
I'm hoping to get Wise here on the show one of these times. So maybe he'll be a featured artist, maybe he'll be a guest. So there's that. So Eric, on to you, brother. What's your top 5, man? And what were you jamming on the way over here?
Actually, I was jamming the original Blue Chips.
Yeah.
On the way over here.
1 and 2 with the whistle and the.
Yes. The original Blue Chips on Live Mixtapes. Shout out to Live Mixtapes for still having that up.
Yeah.
It's been up for.
They took it off Dev Pip. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Did they really?
Yeah, they took it off.
They took off one.
You know what? It's actually still on Google Play Music and it's on Groove Music. So.
I just want to say, Apple Music needs to get the mixtape game on their shit too.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I mean, it's all good going to live mixtapes and listening to it and everything, but man, if it could just all be in one, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be what's up.
I mean, my top 5. I mean, are we talking all time or are we talking right now? I'm
I put all time.
Yeah, he went all time. Let's go all time, man, because there's a lot of flash in the pans going on right now. Because if you talk to me, my top 5 right now, I'd put Kodak in there. But is Kodak top 5 of all time? No. Is he top 5? What's out right now? What's going on?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, But
that's debatable. Fuck that. I'm not agreeing.
That's what this platform is for.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is for. Because we all have our opinions on music and stuff.
Yeah, but I do fuck with Tunnel though.
Yeah. So top 5. Let's talk top 5 all time.
All time. I would have to go not just Andre 3 Stacks, but Outkast as a whole.
Yeah,
but I'll count that as one though.
Yeah, you gotta get Big Boy.
If I can't count it, my Andre 3000 would be one.
You get a 2 for 1 in that one.
Up there. Yeah, I mean I could go, Big Boy and Andre, but I'll keep that together. Number 2, I definitely gotta say, Dr. Dre is up there for me.
Yeah, definitely. He paved the way, for a lot of stuff going on now. I mean, and a lot of people don't know that not only did he produce and rap with NWA, he's done a lot of stuff behind the scenes for a lot of up and comers nowadays. I mean,
Anderson .Paak.
Yeah, Anderson .Paak for one of them, man. I mean, he's put him on K-Dot. He did K-Dot. He did K-Dot. He did Game back in the day. So there's all that.
One of the best songs on Good Kid, Mad City was Compton.
Yeah.
In my opinion, so that's definitely a nod to Dre on that one. But let me see. So what do I got? I got just Outkast and Dre so far.
Yeah, you got 2 right there.
I mean, I'm gonna go a little closer, a little more recent, but I'll have to put Wale up there just because
definitely.
all his old mixtape material is some of the best stuff I've ever heard.
Yeah, he's got a lot of dope bangers.
Definitely, like, mixtape About Nothing. Album About Nothing was good also.
Shout out Seinfeld.
Yeah, seriously.
Hey, I'm gonna be good as long as them sneakers white,
Dude.
I'll go with somebody who I have different opinions on at different times, but in this case, he definitely belongs up there as Eminem.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, he's
I respect
one of the greatest of all time.
It's funny, I was bumping him earlier today and yesterday.
Yeah.
His old shit, though.
Yeah, I used to be a really big fan of Eminem, and then, I don't know, I just pretty much stopped listening to him altogether. I don't know why, it just kind of phased out.
He kind of fell out. He's still skilled, but...
Yeah, he definitely has a skill. I definitely don't think anybody could take him in rap battle or anything like that, but just, I guess, like, my taste went away for that. And the fifth one, man, it's tough. I don't know, man. I'm going to go with Gucci.
With Guizop.
Just to start some talk
with
on
that
that.
Guizop. Yeah, you know what? I gotta respect that too. The hardest working man in hip hop.
He's super
Mr.
consistent.
Jones,
Straight out of jail.
Yeah,
That's fucking what 3-4 albums already.
Yeah, man. He did Woptober. He did Drop Top Wop. Yeah, he's got another one coming out.
Mr. Davis.
Yeah, Mr. Davis. He just dropped a book. I have it in the room. It's my bedtime.
Yeah,
it's my bedtime reading material.
The autobiography.
That's coming next payday for me.
Right,
Definitely on the way.
Shout out his girl holding him down too.
Yeah, that's what's up. You
gotta give me a girl like that.
You did some time. A little stint right there, and to maintain your fan base, to maintain your relationship and all that stuff. I mean, that says a lot about him as a person, his character as a person, not just as a rapper. So that's really cool.
Yeah, he was gone for a minute.
It's been a minute, yeah.
And I listened to him
that
whole
swole.
time. Yeah, came back just looking.
Yeah, no, that's his clone though. He is.
Right, yeah.
The real Roderick Davis is gone. He's long gone.
I was all drunk when I saw that, and I was like, damn, what if it is his clone?
Charles, who were we listening to on the way over here?
On the way over here?
Yeah.
I didn't come with you over here.
On your way over here.
On the way over here.
Yeah.
Me on the way over here.
Yeah.
And I'll jam the fuck out of Cardi B all day.
He was.
Like,
he opened my front door and Bodak Yellow was blasting. And he's all, little bitch.
Dude,
that thing goes hard. I'll be at work just dancing like an idiot in an office that has windows for walls, and everybody can see me, and I really give two shits about it. So
I saw the best meme about that song. It said that Cardi B makes music for
dude.
girls who eat hot Cheetos
and pickles for breakfast.
Pickles for breakfast.
Oh, that's so raunchy. It was all the ghetto ass girls.
She makes that for me,
I mean, that's real. That's definitely a real life meme right there.
Hell yeah, dude.
So Charles, let's hear your top 5, brother.
Man, this was hard because I thought about the top 10, and I'm sad that in my top 5 I can't put Gucci and Jay up there, But I'm gonna start from, I guess, in no particular order. Run the Jewels.
Absolutely,
as a
LP,
cold,
Killer Mike.
cold,
Y'all see the shirt right here. Y'all can't see it, but Daylight Curfew released with Run the Jewels and Adult Swim, a Rick and Morty themed Run the Jewels pistol and fist shirt that I'm actually rocking right now. It's a limited run. I jumped on it like they released it 2 or 3 months back. In 2 hours, sold out, gone. Couldn't get one. He texted me and he was like, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "You already know it's gone. It's already on the way."
I showed up to the fucking Rick and Morty Rick Mobile. I said I fucked up, but you know what I fucking mean, dude. I'm so pissed about the Cowboys, but fuck yeah, dude. I went there. Shout out to my cousin and her boyfriend. They had a fucking chair for me, extra chair. They pulled up, dude. Got sunburned, dirty as a mug, but it was fucking badass, dude. It was crazy. There's a shitload of people there just chilling, like no one was like beefing. Everybody's having conversation about the fucking show. It was tight, man.
That's what's up. That's
what's up. Still got your top 5, man.
Pretty good. I mean, I picked Run the Jewels.
So you got LP and Killer Mike as a collaborative up there.
I mean, Killer Mike is just dope. I mean, LP comes out with that realness, but Killer Mike just comes and gives like a banger. And if you ever listen to a lot of his guest verses on other songs, I mean, if you get a chance to listen to a Boomiverse and Kill Jill, that intro, that like first minute just makes me want to like fight everybody. And so it's just Killer Mike, just spitting on the mic, and it's dope.
On sight.
Okay, so Run the Jewels, and this is a weird one, but Kid Cudi.
Scott, man.
Dude, you know, Scott up there he's a
special
weirdo.
place in my heart, yeah.
He's a weirdo, but I mean, I vibe with that. Like, I get that 100%. Like, I know exactly where he's coming from, and him being, you know, throwing himself in rehab, his depression and whatnot, that shit's real, you know?
Yeah.
And just to be able to, like, understand exactly what he's saying and what he's going through just hits home. And I've been jamming him since when I first started drumming, so that was probably one of the ones. I wrote down the other ones too, because I mean, this was hard. Okay, also Kendrick, of course. I mean, I'll jam Kendrick all day. It doesn't matter what time of day. I mean, if it comes on, I'll instantly, my mood will change.
Yeah,
so that's a given. This one's gonna come out of left field, but Common.
No, man, hell yeah,
Common.
Yeah. I'll be in my office, and some
Oh,
old
man.
dude who I don't think is gonna jam at all is like, dude, I haven't heard this in years.
How you know about Common? How you know about Common?
I'm like,
So how do you know
Dude, I
about
might be 28 years old, but I mean, I understand. You know, I get it. This is good. You know.
Who told you about Common?
Yeah, but see, you know, you hear Common, and I immediately think hip hop, and when you say hip hop, I immediately think Common. He's one of the first ones I go to when I hear the words hip hop. You know, like
I think
he's just something else. You know.
I think he's transcended the label of hip hop, and he's more into a just another level of respect in the game for what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that soul, that deepness in his voice.
Dude.
When I say deepness, I don't mean the pitch of his voice. When I say deepness, I mean he's got that from the heart spit, you know, and that's hard to find in hip hop these days. To me, like I said, when I think hip hop is synonymous with Common.
Hell yeah.
So you've got.
That was a good choice.
All right, last one, and it's gonna be my number one all time. And it's Kanye.
Yeah.
It's easy. I mean,
I don't know why, but I felt like you were gonna say that for some reason.
wait, the reason I like Easy, and
I fuck with you, bro.
he's an artist. He's not just a rapper. He's a musical artist. And when he says he's a genius and people laugh at him, you got to really step back and see everything that he does to understand that he's not lying when he says he's a genius when it comes to music.
Yeah, he is.
Those geniuses are crazy, dude.
Because this dude, you know, people mock him and people laugh at him, but the people that mock you and laugh at you underestimate you a lot of times. And, you know, I used to hate on Kanye before I started listening to Kanye, and I started listening to Kanye, and I'm like, man, so this was a decade ago. From the first time I started listening to Kanye to now, I'm like, holy shit, this is like my favorite of all time when it comes to hip hop, rap, everything.
Dude, yeah. I mean, yeah, you say he's like a genius. Yeah, he's like an artist. Whenever he dropped My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, dude, it wasn't just an album. It was a fucking album. It was like fucking art, all the videos. And then he made that short film that connected all the songs and videos into
absolutely.
it.
That was
Phoenix
God level.
Dude,
For the record,
that was a game changer.
For the record, best Kanye record of all time is 808s and Heartbreaks. In my opinion.
I can't agree.
Then that'll be a debate for us one of these days, because my personal favorite, and I'll go ahead and let y'all know my top 5 right now. Number 1 on my list has always been Kanye West.
Damn, you didn't even drop the 5 yet, right?
No, but I'm going right off the top, telling you real quick. Number 1 on my list. The other 5, the other 4, will be in no particular order, but. Number 1 on my list is Kanye West. When you look at his track record as to who he helped put on or he helped develop as an artist, you still look at legends. You look at people like Common. You look at people like Jay-Z. You know, you look at these big names, you know, and then you take a step back and then realize that he's so appreciative of having these people in his life, whether they talking beef nowadays. You know, he did a song about No ID and Jay-Z called Big Brother, and he was just like thanking them, you know, like that takes a whole nother level of person. And for him to continuously make the albums he makes and progressively change them, you can't tell me that Yeezus is anything like Late Registration.
No, Yeezus was
Yeezus was out of left field, to be honest.
was horrible.
You can't tell me 808s is anything like The Life of Pablo.
I used to hate on Yeezus, but that slowly grew on me. And I'm actually working on a piece that has to. I can't like unveil it until it's painted, but maybe later for another time. But dude, yeah, like
I'll definitely say that Yeezus, it was ahead of its time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I think if you go back and listen to it, even now, it holds up a little bit better than
it
did.
Whenever I first heard it, I was like, this is fucking garbage. Talk so much shit. Got into debates about hip hop with other people, and then like I was drunk, started listening to it again, and I was like, man, this is kind of banger. And then slowly, and then you're like,
to me,
fucking going through something, you listen and you're like, oh fuck.
To me,
heavy.
the Kanye album that did that to me was The Life of Pablo. Like I listened to Yeezus and I was like, this is Kanye. This is Kanye growing. This is him maturing as an artist. This is him doing something totally different. When I listened to The Life of Pablo, I felt like it was a step back for him from Yeezus. But at the same time, you listen to its quality and its production value, and you listen to that album as a whole rather than just song by song. Because trust me, there's some songs in there I'm gonna skip.
Yeah, for sure. Even though that's one of my favorites, I'll still skip.
If you can listen to that album as a whole and understand it and break it down and actually jam that album, you're gonna understand that he might have taken a step back musically, but production-wise and on his genius level, it's up there.
It's God level.
It is up there. You know, my favorite album of Kanye's is Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I can jam that from front to back all day, every day. That is like my go-to album. And if you know me, Devil in a New Dress is my banger.
Dude, that is. You throw that on with the chick.
Best Rick Ross verse Rick Ross ever spit.
Yeah, Rick Ross.
Dude, he did come in hard, and that was because at the time I wasn't really feeling it. Like I didn't really listen too much, but I was like, I was one of like those new rapper. I was like, fucking one of those annoying kids that would be like, nah, that's not real hip hop. And then like I started slowly listening to Ross later after that, and I was like, he actually went fucking hard in that song.
Yeah, he sure did, man. He sure did. So before I got here and we started recording, I was actually jamming in between two albums. I was jamming Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, and I was jamming Still Striving. I was bouncing back between a couple songs on there. You know, Titty Boy, 2 Chainz, ASAP Ferg, just. That's just music now, you know. Whether you consider it hip hop or rap or whatever it is.
Ferg's kind of ahead of his time, dude.
Ferg is definitely,
dude. And then like you go back and listen to shit, and they're like, dude, this is good shit.
Definitely.
I listened to the Always Strive and Prosper, the one before.
Yeah.
Still Strive. Mm-hmm. Man, I listened to that album a lot. Like all from front to back, all day, a lot.
I like the way he changes his voice and
it was like, just it was just hit after hit for me on that one. I love that entire album. It was great. Yeah. And Still Striving was really good too.
Yeah, it was pretty
so my top 5, like I say, Kanye West number 1 up there, always will be. The other 4, no particular order. Slaughterhouse is a collective. I love Slaughterhouse.
You went in.
Yeah. You went out. Okay. I like that.
He pitched the great.
I didn't know that was a hack.
Who
said that was a hack?
I didn't know I could invite fucking.
Put NWA back on
Outkast together. Then you went in and brought a whole fucking label.
Can I do Slaughterhouse, NWA, and Outkast?
That's home court advantage though.
I think that Joe Budden is great on his own. Joel Ortiz is great on his own. God, he's blanking on me. Royce the 5'9" is great on his own, and then the other one, oh my God, he's Crooked Eye. There you go.
Yeah,
Crooked Eye is great on his own, but when you put those 4 together on a track,
it's like
it's just something different, and I don't know what it is. Like I put on a Slaughterhouse album, and I'm just straight up hi Rihanna. Like that's how I am, you know. Like I'm out there.
That shout out on the little freestyle, the cypher they did. Yeah, that's tough.
Hi Rihanna.
Yeah, he was cold too.
So there's Kanye. There is
all of Slaughterhouse.
All of Slaughterhouse as a collective.
Yeah. I'll be like everybody from New York.
I'm gonna go ahead and say all of
Wu-Tang.
All of Wu-Tang.
Nationwide.
Screwed up Click. Now
Screwed Up Click.
Yeah, really.
We can talk about Screwed Up Click later.
All day. Gucci Mane has to be in my top 5 as too. Like I said, hardest working man in hip hop. As an artist, he's awesome. As a person, you can tell he's something great.
Burr. All simple.
Shout out Ice Cream.
I think the other 2 are really tough for me to pick, but it goes back to what can I go back to and jam all day? You know, what can I just what am I going to listen to? You know, what am I going to play? What am I going to jam? And this, y'all might take this one as a huge out of left field. I'm going to say Big Sean is one of my top 5.
That's huge.
Because
that is a huge left
because
field.
all day, every day,
Yeah.
all day,
Man.
every day, I can play Finally Famous Volume 3 from front to back. That mixtape, whether it be the one with
I can't even
with the
argue on that
Cannon.
because I haven't heard it, so I can't.
With the Cannon, it could be that one, or it could be the controversial one where he took Cannon off and said, "Fuck it, you ain't helping me. I made this album. You were just shouting, the Cannon." Like, that's it, you know?
Don't diss Don Cannon, man.
Nah, I'm not dissing him, but I'm just saying, like,
Shout out Don Cannon.
I'm just saying that there's that. And then the other one that I'm gonna have to say.
Oh God, I can't stand that shit.
Whoa.
Oh man,
Boy.
I don't know.
Is gonna be. I'm gonna have to go
Don't say
with.
Drake.
No, I'm not.
Swear to God.
I'm not.
I'll watch this whole fucking table.
I'm
Fuck
gonna-
this podcast.
I'm gonna
yeah,
have.
I'm fucking done.
I'm gonna have to go with someone recent that I found out about a few years ago.
You don't-
Continuously jammed.
You don't gotta name me, dude. It's
And
cool.
his name is Sebastian.
Oh,
No, a Future, man. Future. I can
yeah, okay.
I can go all day and jam Future, whether it be Future, Hendrix, Evil, you name it. His collab with Drake. I mean,
There it is. There's the
There it is,
Drake.
dude.
Fucking Drake.
I'm
I don't fuck with this no more.
nah.
I'm falling apart of the seams over here.
Now, are those my top 5 favorite of all time? I can argue that, you know, to do a top 5, and that's why when I told these guys the top 10 in the beginning, I wanted them to broaden their horizon and, you know, talk about it all. And a top 10 is easy to put together, you know. When you want to squeeze it down to a top 5, that's where it becomes tough.
You really gotta start thinking.
Yeah, and
about
so
the-
that's why when y'all ask of all time, I'm like, hey, it's whatever, you know.
yeah, I feel you.
You know,
why not?
because
I guess that's why I put Common up there.
yeah, because
I would never
that's
tell
why
anybody.
I put fucking Andre, dude. Andre, like, he's never had a solo album, which Love Below was supposed to be. And that, dude, you gotta think, that's like almost Kanye-esque. Like, he went completely different, got real weird with it. He sang on tracks and shit.
yeah,
like, you know,
absolutely.
he's crazy. And he reminds me, which basically he is hip-hop, but he's not hip-hop, is like Dave Chappelle, dude.
Yeah,
he's
man.
one of those dudes that got on a huge hiatus and can still come back. And he's like one of the greatest ever still, and people still love him as much, if not more.
I will watch a movie with 3 stacks, and I will jam 3 stacks,
Yeah, dude, I've seen
and I
pretty
will
much
read
every
whatever.
movie he's been in.
Yeah, I will read whatever he has to say. 3 stacks is he's arguably probably one of the best hip hop artists ever, without having dropped his own album.
Yeah, and like he's better than the artist as the feature than the actual artist,
Yeah, man.
dude. Like he kills
Absolutely.
everything, dude. He's one of the most lyrical artists. Like a lot of people, like they're all hey and shit. I'm like, no, dude, that's not the only song. Like you gotta go deep. Like their first album, both of them fucking murdered every track.
Absolutely,
The
absolutely.
thing about it is the catalog is so deep. You gotta,
You gotta dive
you
in
gotta
there.
listen to everything to really make an opinion on
And
somebody.
then even when you think 3 stacks and you say their first album, you know what, AT-Aliens?
No,
Southern
Catalytic.
Yes, Southern Catalytic.
Southern Player Catalytic.
There you go. That's the one. When you think that, you think of the music they made before that in the dungeon out there in Atlanta with people like CeeLo Green, Killer Mike,
Goody Mob.
Yeah, you know, Goody Mob. You know, like all that. That's the hip hop that, you know, paved the way for the people that are making the music today, and that's what we're here to talk about: the music today, the music back then, and everything. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it a little bit, and we're gonna start talking about Blue Chips 3. Blue Chips 7000 by Action Bronson.
there was
Third Blue Chips.
there was 6,000 in between there.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all just haven't heard him.
Yeah.
So
Underground.
Y'all probably never heard of it.
So 13 tracks released a couple weeks ago. It was the typical Bronson that I was expecting, you know.
Yeah.
The random car references, talking about a chandelier and a cougar, you know, food, wrestling references, you know, everything, and then a couple of features. But Bass and I were actually talking about this before. There was the features. So first off, I want to go kind of around the table real quick. And Bass, what do you think about Blue Chips?
Honestly, I fucking love Bronson, like on everything he's put out. And this album, I was honestly expecting a lot more from it. Blue Chips 1 and 2, like, were fucking incredible. Like, I would listen to them every day. I was having, like, my first art shows because I use music to listen to everything when I'm painting stuff. And, like, those were fucking crazy. Those were, like, fucking insane. And they were so much longer and so much different shit. I really think he should have kept Party Supplies on this third. He could have made all those songs, just put them in different things, and then just kept it a trio of just him and Party Supplies. The producer, DJ, if you will, like,
Yeah.
Dude, like, I don't know, man. Like, it was a solid album, and I like a lot of songs out of it, but not every song was fire.
So when you
like
talk
his other ones.
when you talk Blue Chips and you're saying it's not comparable to his other albums or it's not as good as the other ones, in your opinion,
Yeah.
what is your number one Bronson album of all time?
Shit, man. I think it would have to be Dr. Lecter.
Dr. Lecter?
Yeah, it's actually his first album, and he has, like, some of my favorite songs are not on that album, but as a whole, that album was fucking incredible. Like, Madness Alone, that song was sick. One of the sickest flows I've heard. Like, it's just, like, almost no hook. Just a huge verse that he's just killing it with things you wouldn't even think of. Yeah, like, I don't know, that whole album is fucking fire. But yeah, this album was okay. It had some good songs, some cool beats and stuff, but nothing like, I think it was way more lyrical, had way more stuff to put in his older stuff, like his older albums and mixtapes. But as a whole, like, this one's still good, but hopefully next one he'll go way harder. I think he's been traveling a lot doing his show, so
Fuck, that's delicious.
And that show's fucking awesome. Y'all need to check that out. But I think that kind of took away from, I think he tried to, like, change it up and do something different, like most artists do, which I respect. So I mean, that's cool, but I think his next album would be better.
Yeah.
Hoping.
So your favorite track off of Blue Chips, 7,000?
It'd have to be My Right Lung, dude. Like,
My Right Lung?
I wish I could dunk a basketball too, man.
Yeah.
Like, that hit me hard, man. You know, it's like, want to be taller, want to be baller, you know? But that one's just hard, but that one, and it would have to be, what the fuck was it? Still fresh album, so I don't remember all. Hold on, let me check real quick.
Go for it.
I forget the fucking name of it.
While you're talking, while you're looking up
Bonsai.
Bonsai?
Bonsai. That song's fire.
Is that like the 5th or 6th track, something like that?
Yeah, it's like right.
It's like right in the middle of it. Yeah. All right, Eric, what'd you think of Blue Chips 7,000, man?
Blue Chips 7,000 was kind of what Bass was getting into, just kind of another run-of-the-mill Action Bronson album. Not that that's a negative thing. It was great. It's just, the same Bronson-esque type beats. The music is outstanding, of course, as it is always. But, kind of what he was saying, I was expecting a little more. Not that it's not great, but just that I thought he might do a little more, maybe change up his flow a little bit here and there, but it was pretty much just your typical Action Bronson album. But I think also it is because he's been doing the show, doing all the extracurriculars. I know he's still working hard, putting out music and everything, but I think we might have seen this one suffer a little bit. But definitely still a great album from front to back. I enjoyed it. I would listen to it again. I will keep it on my Apple Music playlist and keep it in the shuffle as always.
Yeah, definitely still love it. Dude.
Yeah, nothing wrong.
Yeah,
No
just,
complaints really, other than
yeah.
I guess I just wish he would have did a little more.
Yeah.
But it was still great.
So with you saying you agree with Bass, what would your favorite Bronson album of all time be?
Mine, I gotta go Blue Chips 2, actually. That one, I listened to
awesome.
that one a lot more than I did the original Blue Chips. I'm not sure how that or why that happened, but it just kind of ended up being that way with the. I just remember the cover there from that classic scene from that game. I don't even know what basketball game it was, but that cover alone kind of drew me to listening to that one just so I could see it more, and that one definitely influenced a lot, and why I still listen to him a lot now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Favorite track off the album, man?
The favorite track off the album, I can't think of what it's called. Also, I'm looking it up now, but it's the one that's on Madden. I think it is called. I can't even think. Let Me Breathe. That's which one it is.
Let Me Breathe?
Yeah. That one.
That one's towards the end of the album, right? I think that's, right there. Track number 9 on the album, Let Me Breathe. And you said it's on Madden 18?
Yeah, it's on Madden 18. I I went on there and turned off a lot of the songs that are there, and that's one of the few that I left on. So
yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because it's what I talked about in the beginning, how influential hip hop is in everything. Me on my Xbox, I specifically downloaded Groove Music and pay for a monthly subscription to Groove Music so that I can listen to the music I want to listen to when I play video games, because a lot of the track lists for these games and stuff, I mean, they're really not hot, you know.
Yeah.
A couple good songs here and there.
They have a couple sneaky bangers though.
Yeah,
every now and then.
Madden 18 was one of the ones that had some of the better songs, you know.
Yeah,
and
Madden 18 has a good soundtrack.
And I'm looking forward to hearing WWE 2K18's album soundtrack too, because it's produced by Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So let's just see what he has in store, you know.
Wait, I didn't even know they like put actual like soundtracks
Yeah,
on
man,
them. I
full
thought
soundtracks.
they just had like the wrestlers,
wrestlers themes.
Yeah.
No,
I haven't played one of those games since like '64.
Yeah.
When my boy Stone
back
Cold
then.
was holding his arms up. Yeah, I haven't played it since then. Like,
What?
Straight up, I had those same
elbows
games.
up. Yeah.
All right, Charles, how'd you feel about Blue Chip 7000, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of hate across the table from me, but I'm not that big an Action Bronson fan.
I'll kill you.
I mean, I can't get into it for some reason, but I mean, I dig it. You know, I won't like go out of my way and jam it, but I dig it. You know, it was for what it is and what he's trying to do, and from all the other stuff I heard, and his other albums, it was a pretty decent album. I mean, like I said, I really can't give a good biased or non-biased review of it because I'm not a fan, but I mean, I dug it for what it's worth.
All right, cool. Favorite track off the album?
The Ricky Ross verse.
Yeah.
924 7000. It was a pretty good track. I dug it.
That's pretty solid song.
Yeah, I think that's why I like the album. You know, I didn't actually hate it. It was because of that song. It kind of goes all over the place from a pretty funky hip hop type feel to a pretty slow hip hop.
Yeah, they
feel.
had a good little dynamic with them. And they're both burly boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a favorite Action Bronson album, it'd probably be Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah.
It was kind of basic for me to pick, but I mean, that'd be my choice.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I will say one thing about the song with the Rick Ross verse. I was listening to this album a lot today while I was at work, and when I wasn't seeing what song it was or anything like that, so I didn't know that he was coming up on it. But whenever he came on, I got so hype in the work van. It was just a really funny moment. But that Ross verse was really good.
Yeah, Bass and I were actually chatting about it before. How having Ross on a Bronson album is just that's fucking left field. You know what I'm saying?
Weird.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that,
left field, but to me, it makes perfect sense. At
Yeah.
the same time,
It's kind of like an overlooked genius idea.
yeah, because
I would definitely see them collaborate.
because
again.
we're used to hearing Bronson collabs with just Mayhem Lauren and
Loren,
and Big Body Bess, you know, like, and that's it. Like
Yeah.
that's the extent of
for
it.
him to actually
And Big Body doesn't even rap. He
Yeah.
just shouts obscenities.
Yeah, he's just yelling on the track. But
like-
then you have on Mr. Wonderful, Baby Blue with Chance. So
Yeah.
that was another kind of big.
And that was
name.
like one of Chance's hottest fucking verses.
Yeah.
dude.
I think
So-
that's why I like Mr. Wonderful a lot.
Bronson, you could
I-
say, kind of gave Chance not necessarily a springboard because he was already out in the mix, but that song definitely gave him a lot of exposure.
Give him some spotlight too.
Definitely gave him some spotlight. So
But,
I think that was a good opportunity for him.
Since we're on topic of Bronson, me, our buddy Chase,
Yeah.
Cheese Whiz, so many names.
Shout out Cheddar.
Yeah, Cheddar Chase. Ready for his album, but
String Cheese Theory Volume 1.
String Cheese Theory. Me, Chase, and my buddy Dre. My buddy Dre hadn't really listened before, and me and Chase were huge fans of him, like since like way before he started blowing up, and like he was gonna have a show in Dallas, and we were all having car trouble. Like we weren't gonna be able to make it. We already had the tickets, and there's no way we're fucking missing this. And we put my buddy Dre onto him, and like he started listening to me. He fucking loved him. And we went up to go see him, and we had to fucking take a Greyhound bus, which was the most ridiculous thing. But it makes for an awesome story because like I got to see Bronson like no matter what, you know, like
That's
he's
what's
one of
up.
my all-time artists, so that would always be a cool story. Like,
That's what it
went
took,
up.
was
Yeah,
a
that's what it
Greyhound
took
bus.
for me to go fucking see him, and it was crazy. Like everybody was like so hyped to go see him. I'd never seen so many hipsters and beards and shit in Dallas jerseys, and I'm sure they never watched.
I'd buy that.
And they never watched a single Mavericks game. I'm pretty
Right.
sure. But it was tight,
crowd.
dude. He even like I forgot what song, and I'm really pissed I can't because I listen to him like religiously. But he said some verse, and then he shouted out Dirk.
Yeah.
Shouted Nowitzki, and like the whole place went fucking crazy. And it was tight because, you know, it's like we're from Texas.
Yeah.
I was sick. But what pissed me off is that's how I knew they were whack-ass fans is because, like, they all were going hard on him, but they didn't even fuck with Mayhem.
Yeah.
And Mayhem fucking killed it right before. Like, incredible. It was like me, Chase, Dre, and, like, maybe 20 other fans that were, like, fucking going nuts for Loren, and he fucking killed. Like, Tim Westwood, you ever seen that freestyle with him? He shows him no love, and he's just asking for. I was like, he just killed it. I was like, fuck Westwood.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, there's a little story for you.
So I enjoyed Blue Chip 7000. To me, it was a typical Bronson album. You know, it's everything I expected. Like I said before, I expected to hear the random car references. I expected to hear wrestling references, food references, and all that stuff. I expected to hear Loren. I expected to hear Best. What I didn't expect was Ross, like we talked about. Like that was out there, but I think that song probably helped complete the album. You know, to me, Blue Chip 7000 was a pretty solid album for what it was. You know, my favorite track off there was the second one. What is it? The LA Luna or La Luna.
That was cool, dude.
And
that one was
that's a freestyle, you know, like he's like, yo, what is that? What's that beat? And he's like, it's on the phone.
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
like,
it's just
it's the whole music for La Luna,
yeah.
the car service, you know. And to me, that was dope. Personally, my favorite Bronson album has to be Sob Stories. You know, I go back to it and I can jam that one all day, every day. And I don't know if it was because it was because I had listened to Bronson before, you know, and when I heard Strictly for My Jeeps, which is probably the first song that everybody heard from Bronson.
The video is insane.
And then
awesome.
That video is wild. Yeah. You got Riff Raff, you got these big girls doing cartwheels, getting pushed on swings and
Bronson
stuff.
Like steals his chain because he makes all these.
You know what? I'm sure there's people out there that haven't heard that song. So if you haven't heard that song and seen that video,
you should definitely watch the video and listen to the song.
It's just Strictly for My Jeeps. It was the first. Like big time I heard Bronson because I had heard Bronson before. I had heard you know, the Blue Chips 1 and 2 and then I hear this, you know, and I'm like, damn, this is what's up, you know. And then Mr. Wonderful came out, jammed Mr. Wonderful, and then I went back into his catalog and jammed some other stuff and you know, tried him out a little bit.
All the long lost tapes and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Bon Appetit was probably one of the best ones too.
Amazing.
So
many, dude.
If I had to rate this album out of 5 flames, I'm gonna give it a solid 3 out of 5 flames. I would definitely come back and listen to it. Is it something that is my everyday? No, it's Bronson, so he's gonna get in the higher class. But Bass, out of 5 flames, how many flames did you give it?
That's solid. I'd give it 3 spicy ones as well.
3 spicy ones as well, Eric.
I'm gonna give it a straight 3.5.
Oh, he went there with a half.
flame.
You got a half flame.
With a lighter.
It's
3 flames and a lighter.
3 zippos and a bic.
Nah, man, it's all about Clippers. Shout out to Clipper lighters, but yeah, I'll give it 3.5.
We're not sponsored by.
Yeah.
Charles. 2.
That's what I give.
But you know what?
That's what I give 808s.
I get it.
Hold on.
No.
In comparison to what though? Like,
No,
what's
just-
a 1 flame and what's a 5 flame?
Just on your personal.
Yeah,
Personal, your personal thing, you know. 1 flame, I'm gonna toss it, never jam it again.
Yeah, it's gonna get
5
off
flame,
the playlist.
that's your all day, every day. You're gonna blast that
Okay,
thing.
makes sense. I mean, I kind of figured. I just didn't want to be ignorant about it.
No, see, but the thing is, though, I understand where he's coming from with you know, not really enjoying, not necessarily even enjoying it, but just it's not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like he's definitely for the people who enjoy like the freestyle type.
Yeah, zany acting, like
Like just
real
kind of
wild.
off top, saying some off the cuff stuff, you know, things you don't normally hear.
Yeah, And it's cool because like some of the stuff is like old school stuff you'll relate to, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, and then like
like how did he get that reference? And then he pulls out something like that just happened yesterday.
He's like painting pictures with like nostalgia.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit and talk about Lucy Camp.
Yeah, we didn't really get into it, right?
We're gonna chat about her for the next few minutes. I tried looking up a bio for her. There's very little known about her. Age-wise, I believe she's from California. Yeah, it says right here, San Jose, California. Her biography on her Facebook page, Rhyme is My Reason, and I appreciate the people who take their time to listen to me. It means a lot, which is, to me, one of the coolest things any up-and-coming artist can ever say, you know, shout out the people who are actually giving me a chance, listening to what I have to say. So, Bass, you had a chance to listen to Lucy Camp's?
Yeah, I discussed
Lucy
it a little
Camp,
bit earlier.
I apologize.
Yeah, I discussed it a little bit earlier, but yeah, she was like, reminded me of that one chick. I don't know if y'all have heard her before. She's kind of like, I guess like kind of poppy too, but she's kind of like, I guess a little underground, but she kind of reminded me of her because like the sing, like when she would sing and like when she first started going into it was kind of like a dream state, like I said earlier, like kind of like.
Do you remember the name of the track you jammed?
No, I literally, like you told me about it today, and I jammed it. There was Salty was pretty dope, and let me look at the ones because I barely heard it today, so I don't even know. But
and Eric,
she was badass.
Eric, what do you think of Lucy?
You know what? I picked up the Whispers EP straight off of Apple Music. Luckily, they had that one, and they had a couple others as well. But I really it's a six track EP.
Yeah.
I gave it a couple listens. Definitely have to say that it's not like anything I've ever really heard before. The voice is I guess I could say that she kind of reminded me a little bit of like a Janae Akio, or however you say that girl's name. I don't know, but similar style. Definitely not the same content to say that, but I could see myself listening to this some more. I just listened to it today though, so
that's all good. It's all good. First time I heard her was on the Cypher Effect. I don't know if y'all follow the Cypher Effect on YouTube. She did a cypher with a few other female MCs, and it stuck out. Her flow was, in my opinion, was better than the other ones out there. I can try and put a link down at the bottom. I did try and reach out to Lucy Camp for a small interview, a little bio about her and whatnot, and permission to possibly play her song on the air, but she did not get back to me. So Lucy, if you hear this, please get back to me. We'd like to play your stuff eventually on air, maybe chat with you about your music one time. Charles didn't get a chance to listen to Lucy.
You're going to say that right after you asked me? I'm sorry.
So
the podcast will be like, well, they didn't even let Charles talk.
So Lucy, if you want to give us a shout out everybody but Charles.
Shout out everybody but me, yeah. I'll take that L.
I heard that cypher a couple years ago. First time. But the one I most recently jammed of hers, if y'all haven't heard it, is 16. And what really caught me was the visual for that one. She's sitting there and she's just flowing and rapping and singing, and she's doing a little art project. And at the end of it, she picks it up and she's got this banner that says "fuck you." And to me, that's what's up, But she's in the track. She's talking about being 16, relationships, shit's going on around that time, So
not an easy time.
Yeah, 16 was rough for all of us, To
say the least.
You look back and you're like, you fucking idiot. But at the time you're like going through so much shit. It's crazy.
So
going through a lot, man.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this: would you spin Lucy Camp again, or would you not listen to it?
Oh, for sure. No, I really dug it, man. Like she had some fucking flow, dude. She had meaning behind it too, which I really love.
Hey, and she ain't bad on the eyes if y'all ain't seen her.
I saw that little. I didn't really get to look at her yet because I was on the way here bumping her. Well, I was bumping her at my house, like in the shower actually.
I'm gonna take one from Slaughterhouse, and instead of saying hi Rihanna, I'm gonna say hi Lucy.
She was that little image I saw. She did look pretty good, but.
Eric, would you spin her again, or?
You know what? I definitely would, because I feel like I didn't really give it a true listen. Like I said, I was kind of jamming it while I was working, so I was kind of distracted. But I would definitely give it another listen, as well as listening to more of her songs. Hopefully, I can give it a true ear.
Yeah,
like
sure.
I did to Blue Chips.
Yeah,
but I would definitely. I'm gonna keep that album in my music, and then probably add a couple more because I saw there was a few more there. So I'll be hearing from her pretty soon.
You know, and that's the tough part about listening to an underground artist is listening to their catalog and finding their catalog and like you said, you didn't listen to her the way you listen to Blue Chips. Bronson's someone you've heard before. It's a name, not necessarily a household name, but it's a name that's come up before. Before I mentioned Lucy Camp G, have you heard her?
Yeah, I had not heard of her.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's the difficulty behind being an underground artist, and that's what this whole segment about this is about. Granted, it's a short segment about underground artists, but it's just to kind of get the name out there a little bit extra for a person you may have not heard of before. I am going to put a link in the bio, in the description, to Lucy Camp's website. It is just lucycamp.com. She's got her stuff on there. As Eric said, Whispers is available on Apple Music. I'm not too sure if it's available on Google Play, Spotify, or anything else. So, guys, it's been real, but here's the best part about this show. I'm going to just out of random pick one of y'all, and I want y'all to give me an album and give me an underground artist, and that is who we are going to talk about next week. So we can continue this going, folks. So I'm gonna shoot across the table. Eric, holler at me. What album are we listening to next week? For this week to next.
All right, the album I think that I want to pick for this one, you know what, I'm gonna go with a classic. It seemed like we kind of had a consensus within the top 5, even though I didn't put him in mine. Bass didn't have him in his, but whenever you two both mentioned him, we both had nothing but good things to say. So I'm gonna go with College Dropout.
Yeah.
College Dropout. That's a classic, man.
Classic.
That's a classic, man. The juices are already flowing, man. Like
Can we do that one right now and post it next week?
Yeah, we really could right now. I've listened to
you might get 2 podcasts tonight
already. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, definitely do College Dropout. And then as far as the underground artists, I mean, that's a tough one for me.
You pick someone local, man. Someone you personally know. Someone I've never heard of. I may have heard of them too. You know, just whoever you can think of.
That's I'm gonna go with a guy that I went to high school with. I've heard him freestyle. I don't know how many times in class.
1,000,000 times on Facebook.
Yeah, 1,000,000 times on Facebook Live, on his Snapchat going hard. Every time I see his damn Snapchat, he's freestyling. Got some kind of bars up. But one point, Aunt Illa.
Aunt Illa. Yeah, we got to correct that name.
Controversy with the Z. No Z on that. Aunt Illa.
That's what's up. That's what's up, guys.
I guess if we can get a hold of him and get some copies of Zillaville.
Don't think it'll be that hard.
Yeah, you know.
We got to get that. We got to get the physical copy.
He's right up the block. He's on a number street I grew up on, so he ain't too far.
Yeah, we'll get with him and get that going.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, guys. Well, this has been Knights of the Round Record. This is episode 1. If y'all liked it, man, share it. Bump it. Listen to us next week. There's going to be a link to our Instagram, our Snapchat, our Facebook, our Twitter, our SoundCloud, our YouTube. And we're going to try and keep this free as long as we can until they tell us we got to start paying for it. And then I'm going to take that hit out of my pocket and I'm going to still let y'all listen to me for free. All right, guys? Because this is what this is about. It's about sharing the love of music and whatnot. I just want y'all to be aware of the music around y'all, the music that's been there, the music that hasn't been. I'm going to put a link to Bass's Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, everything. Same with Eric, same with Charles. Charles has a vlog. I'll put that in there too. He vlogged about us doing this right now. So go like us, follow us, man. Tell your family and friends about it, and keep jamming that hip-hop, guys. Until next time, I've been Rex. Y'all be real.
Peace.
I feel like that went pretty well.